Well, hello there. This is Skills to Pay the Bills, and this segment is hosted by me, James Jack. I'm a real estate professional. I'm associated with Ernestine J. Wilson Real Estate, LLC. We're licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And every so often we come in and we do some nice little shows about what's happening in the real estate industry, and today is no exception. Allow me to welcome and to introduce to you Mr. Larry Laws, who is with First Home Alliance, and he is the Executive Director. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, James.
Well, we've got a few questions for you, since everybody wants to know about housing, whether they're first-time home buyers or they're seasoned home buyers, homeowners, or they just want to know what is the condition of the real estate market here. So we can't talk about everything, but we're going to talk about what First Home Alliance does. So start us off.
Good afternoon, James, and thanks for inviting me on to talk about First Home Alliance. First Home Alliance is a nonprofit housing counseling agency. We're based out of Woodbridge, Virginia. We have first-time home buyers. We educate them with what it takes to become a homeowner, to be a successful homeowner. And we also have sustained homeownership by helping with foreclosure prevention.
And how long have you been in existence?
First Home Alliance was established in 2002. While I was still on active duty, I started the organization as the founder, and upon retiring in 2004, began the mission of First Home Alliance.
And do you just focus on Northern Virginia, or do you cover other areas?
Well, we're based in Woodbridge with a target focus on low and moderate underserved communities here in Northern Virginia, but we are able to service the area throughout the Washington metropolitan area.
Okay, why did you need to start an organization such as this?
Well, I felt there was a need for the community, low and moderate community, the underserved community. I was sort of an organization inspired the story of my mom. My mom became a first-time home buyer at age 65 on a fixed income. And just watching my mom, the inspiration that she gave me and how she was inspired to give back to the community even after raising so many kids and then becoming a foster grandparent for the community after the community actually helped her become a first-time home buyer.
So service is in your blood?
Yes, it is.
Community service is in your blood?
That is correct.
Okay, now we're reaching out, we're finding people, they're finding you, you have solutions to problems that they have, you have a staff, you have a support group. Tell me more about the people who work with you.
Well, First Home Alliance, we provide one-on-one counseling, confidential counseling. I have a senior counselor, Charlene Watkins Bird, that has been with the organization for over 6 years. She came to First Home Alliance as a processor. She worked with a mortgage loan originator as a processor, and very interested in helping others become successful homeowners. She received the training, became a certified counselor. On full-time staff is myself, Charlene, and we have a part-time person for processing. But we also have a large contingency of volunteers that help us out. One that Kalita Lassiter has been with us since, she's been with us for over 4 years. She was retired with over 30 years experience with the Navy Federal Credit Union, and she's also one of our certified counselors. And so we have only a small paid staff, but volunteers that do a very good job, an important role with First Home Alliance.
Okay, volunteers, that means anyone who wants to and has particular skills that are, usable to you can come in, talk to you, talk to one of your staff members, and somehow or another create a relationship that will be beneficial to not only the organization but to the community too?
That is correct. We are outreaching for more volunteers. I actually have a volunteer by the name of Charlotte Van Horn. She's a contractor that works in D.C., but she lives in Fredericksburg. Charlotte has been with us for almost 2 years now, and she is our volunteer coordinator. And she's the person that will actually do the orientation and get collect the resume and make original contact with the volunteer, and then passing information on to me. I will have a one-on-one with the potential volunteer, find out what their skill sets are, and see where they may fit in. Some volunteers are able to come into the office 2 to 3 days a week. Some only 1 day a week and do 3 or 4 hours. Others may work up to 10 hours a week. Some are able to do work from home, such as work on our website, grant writing, event planning, and actually come out and help us on the workshops on the weekend as well.
Okay, more specifically, we're talking about volunteers. I happen to know a little bit about computers, especially software and things like that. So, I know a little bit about word processing, Excel, things like that. That's usable to you.
That is correct. Yes, those skills are usable definitely in the computer area. Also, all the paperwork, normally when you are working with mortgages or taxes and gathering documents that have to be passed on to the servicer, 5 years ago it was all hard copy. And
Correct.
so today it is everything is faxed or e-faxed or emailed. And so gathering those documents and packaging them in electronic files, those skills can be used, would help with our processing if a person have computer skills.
Okay, I'm a first-time home buyer. And I heard about the organization through some friends, word of mouth, and I decided, okay, maybe I can own a home too, but I don't know where to start. Ordinarily, I would go to the bank or I would go to my credit union, but someone told me, no, you need to talk to these people because they may be able to help you in a way that you may not get that type of assistance from the bank or from the credit union. I just walked into the office. What's going to happen?
Well, if you walk into the office, we would do an intake on the person, ask them the purpose of the visit, and if they would like to become a first-time home buyer, we, with the small staff in reference to starting out with a counseling session, we would prefer the person start off with an educational section.
Educational.
That is correct. We provide first-time home buyer class on the third Saturday of every month. That is, it covers from the first step of personal finances, credit issues, the role of the loan officer, also the role of the real estate agent, and through the loan closing. After the 8-hour course, the individual would be able to assess their situation. We would help them and see where they stand in that process.
Is this 8 hours in one day or broken up?
That is correct. 8 hours in one day.
A certification given to me afterwards?
That is correct.
Where are the workshops being held?
Right, and the workshops being held in Woodbridge. The last workshop was this past last month was at our office on Golansky Boulevard. Normally our classes are held at the Falazzo building in Woodbridge on a monthly basis. The small classes, we hold them at our office, which is located at 3138 Golansky Boulevard in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Okay, that's a fine time right now for you to give me that information again about where the classes are being held, when they're being held, and how someone can contact you if they need more information about the classes.
Yes. To enroll in the class, I'd ask that you call for enrollment.
And the number?
The number is 703-580-8838.
Okay.
And again, it's 703-580-8838. And let them know that you're a first-time home buyer interested in attending the class.
Is this information available on the web?
The information is available on the web. Our website is www.firsthomealliance.org.
And suppose I want to send an email just out of curiosity.
Yes, the email would be help, that's HELP, at firsthomealliance.org. And that's First Home Alliance spelled out, FIRSTHOMEALLIANCE.org.
Well, for a small organization, you're doing a lot. The numbers of people who are coming in, on average, how many people do you think you're serving, say, in a month's time, a week to a month's time, or whatever? In other words, just give me some
Yes.
ballpark figures.
Well, now we're dealing with foreclosure prevention, and the majority of our clients that are calling that number are homeowners that are in distress. And either they have a foreclosure, fear of going into foreclosure, or they need some type of relief in their mortgage payments. We are right now experiencing about 10 to 15 new clients per month. And so we have the personnel in our database for foreclosure prevention about 8 months. That's from the time from intake to resolution. And so there's a flow of clients. We like to call it a pipeline. So right now we probably have about 70 families or households that are in our pipeline. Again, about 10 families per month come into our pipeline.
Okay, in a couple of minutes we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the foreclosure process in terms of when a person has decided, now it's time for me to go forward. So this time frame, does that give someone a better idea as to whether or not they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, if there is hope for them?
Well, we begin to prepare them from the start, whether it's prepare them for successful home ownership or prepare them for transition. And so while you're preparing, and hopefully that you'll be able to stay in your home, but you also need to understand that in some situations a person may have to transition from home ownership. So we like to prepare them for both.
I know I've encountered a lot of people who thought or were told that you don't have to move out of your home. The bank doesn't really care about, you don't have to pay the mortgage, you don't have to do any of these other things. In other words, it creates an atmosphere of what's the word for it? In other words, you're not taking care of business. But you still have to, you have to do everything that you can, because in the long run, the bank is going to be looking at that, and they are keeping a record of everything. When I say bank, I mean your lender is keeping a record of everything that you are doing, and what you do today can very well have an impact on what your status will be later on. So I want to know, have you been able to, how have you dealt with people who have sort of felt that this isn't really happening to me?
Well, the people that come in those situations more than likely has already been in this process for some time. They have not opened their mail, they're not answering their phone, and maybe they don't open their eyes and say, this is happening to me, until there is a notice to show up in court. Or and sometimes situations where the home has already been foreclosed, and then they get an eviction notice from a deputy sheriff that has put a notice on the door. So that's a little late. We would consider that case as a person that has already lost their home. So the type of counseling they would get is transitioning counseling because they've already lost a home. Now, there's others that have not foreclosed, and the letters may begin to change, whether it was getting letters from the lender or the mortgage company. Now they're getting letters from an attorney's office. So the attorney's letters look a little bit different. At that point, it's pretty late, too.
And at this point, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the distressed homeowner.
Okay.
The person who's still in trouble, or the person who can be helped.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Start living the dream of home ownership with help from First Home Alliance. Free orientation classes are held the third Saturday of each month from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and lunch will be served. Classes include topics like personal finance, credit issues, the lending process, the role of the agent, home inspection, and loan closing. Don't wait. Call First Home Alliance today to register, or go to firsthomealliance.org for more information and start your dream of home ownership today.
Welcome back to Skills to Pay the Bills. I'm the host for this show, James Jack. I'm a professional realtor in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm with Ernestine J. Wilson Real Estate, LLC. We're licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And today, my guest is Mr. Larry Laws of First Home Alliance, which is associated with Home Free. So very quickly, give me an idea as to what Home Free and First Home Alliance do together.
Yes. Well, Home Free is a nonprofit as well that have a group of affiliates, about 66 affiliates across the United States, across the country. Home Free is an intermediary, a HUD intermediary, and they're our organization that we partner with for training and also communication with HUD in reference to new guidelines and programs.
Okay, now let's get back to this very interesting conversation, very timely, about the distressed home owner, the homeowner who is in denial. not just one person, but say a husband and wife or two buyers together who have this mortgage and they're sinking deeper and deeper and deeper in debt because they've not been able to keep up with the payments. You mentioned before that you serve a number of people every month. Let's go back to the numbers in terms of the distressed home owners.
Yes, for the distressed homeowners, well, that 10 to 15 new homeowners that come to us each month. That is 3 to 4 a week. Well, they come at different stages. Some of them come when they're. I have a color code actually. A red actually mean that they have a foreclosure sale date. And so that's an emergency situation where they will see a counselor one-on-one within 24 hours. Don't like to see those, but that is a red case.
Do you have somehow or another a way to reach their lender very quickly and say, here's someone we need to talk to you about immediately?
That is correct. Charlene Watkins is my senior counselor, and she's been doing this for a while. And what she does on a red case, it depends. If the foreclosure is within 2 to 3 days, immediately. If we got a week to work with, within that 24 hours, she can make the phone call. We have one-on-one contact with some of the servicers, and so she have a person that she can speak with for a group of cases. We have an authorization that we get to speak on their behalf. That takes maybe 24 to 48 hours to get the authorization. So if it's a red situation where we'll do a conference call with the homeowner there and speak with the landlord, let them know we're a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, and we would like for them to postpone the sale so that we have the opportunity to put in a workout package for that homeowner.
Allow me to make this point right now. If you are a person or you are a family or you know someone, and we all know someone who is a distressed homeowner, in other words, they've fallen behind on their mortgage for whatever reason, then they need to get in touch with Mr. Laws and First Home Alliance and at least find out what is your status. You just don't know. Don't listen to everybody else. Listen to people who deal with the lenders every day. They deal with this issue every day. You may not be as bad off as you may think. And then too, you may be a little bit farther down the road, or as my father would say, up the creek, than you realize. So now let's get back to the distressed homeowner. You have your color-coded red person,
yes,
now, or homeowner.
Okay.
Now, what else do you have?
Then the next code would be orange. An orange case would be an individual that is over 60 days late on at least one payment. Over 60. The reason that in the state of Virginia, over 60 days, then they're at that default. And so at the notice of default, they could possibly get a foreclosure sale date at any time. And so that is the next priority that we will work on if an orange case. The next color code is the yellow. Yellow meaning the individual is late on a payment, but they're not 60 days late on any one payment.
And many times people panic when
Yes.
they are 1 month behind.
That is correct.
Cause for concern, yes, but not for panic.
That is correct. That is correct. And we would like for individuals actually to come when they are in the clear. That is the level clear, if you want to call it the white area. And on a clear, meaning a person is not late on a payment. They are in fear of maybe getting behind. They're feeling some financial pinch. They're paying some bills late, or at the last minute they're running out of money, or basically need some relief because it's a struggle to stay ahead.
Or as I've dealt with several people who thought maybe they might be losing their jobs being relocated to another place. They can't move there, or there's someone in the family who is not bringing in as much income to help keep things going. So they're looking 3, 4, 5 months down the line, and they're thinking, oh, woe is me, what's going to happen? This is a good time to find out what needs to be done, or how you and First Home Alliance can help them to either solve the problem or prepare for it.
Yes, and that is the best time to come in when you feel that you can sit 3 or 4 months down the road. Maybe there's an adjustable mortgage that you may have. You know it's going to adjust 6 months now. You're not going to be able to afford it then. So start to prepare for that now. We provide the financial literacy class. We have that class about once every 90 days for the homeowners that are in our pipeline. And so we actually teach them budgeting, credit, debt reduction, some things that they can do to get in front of this financial crisis that they and maybe avoid it. We can also go ahead and prepare the modification packets and send those in to the lender. What we consider affordable, I was a little afraid of the word affordable when I first got into the housing arena. Affordable is, everyone's affordability is different.
Yes.
So it depends on your gross income. And so we're looking at about 31% of your gross income. That's what you should pay for a housing.
The numbers have changed. Would you explain a little bit more in depth that magic number of 31% in terms of the amount of money that you have, disposable income versus the bills, things like that? A lot of times people are not aware of that because, of course, in school they don't really teach pure home economics in the sense of when you're looking at your credit report or you're looking at this or that. All of these are numbers, indexes that, or indices, I should say, that tell you exactly where you are. The professionals know it instantly when they see that your debt-to-income ratio is one thing. So could you explain that a little bit more?
Yes, just a little bit into the ratios. One is a debt-to-income ratio that we look at is the 55%, and this is your total debt load, where actually the services that you're requesting for a modification, that it is mandatory that you receive 101 counseling if you have a total debt load of 55% or more, meaning that if your income is, we'll say, $1,000 a month, and your debt is over $550 a month, that's 55% debt versus the total income amount. And so you're at that's a bad limit to be.
Okay.
What you would like to do is have that load lower than 45%.
Okay, so you've seen this envelope. It has come to you in the mail. You have suspicion something is wrong. You need to call Mr. Laws. His number again is?
Yes, First Home Alliance telephone number is 703-580-8838.
They're also on the web. So if you're sitting in front of your computer, log on now and look up firsthomealliance.org, and email-wise?
Email is help, that's HELP, @firsthomealliance.org.
And if you have any other questions, you can also call me, James Jack, with Ernestine J. Wilson Real Estate, LLC. My number is 301-306-5314, and we're also on the web at homesradio.com. And if you just happen to like Facebook, just write the name, type in Ernestine Wilson, she'll pop up, and ask us, and we'll relay your questions, or we'll do whatever we can to help you to connect with First Home Alliance. The time is going very quickly, so we have a couple more topics that we want to discuss. Your new initiatives for the future.
Well, the first initiative we're kicking off the next 60 days. The first class is actually going to be April the 13th. That's the second Saturday of April. We're taking applications this month, and we'll do the selection next month. This is for a Flex Boot Camp. That's Financial Literacy Education Exchange.
Would you repeat that?
That's Financial Literacy Education Exchange Boot Camp. This boot camp will cover an 18-month period. This is for people that went through a financial distressful situation, whether that's bankruptcy, foreclosure. We're looking at these situations that have happened over 24 months ago. So if they went through a foreclosure in 2009, 2010, we would like to look at their application to see if they would be selected for our boot camp.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. Given the resources, we can only select a very small amount, so it's going to be those, we're looking for successful outcomes, and so we're looking for people that we can help them increase their credit scores by 100 points. We're looking at they do not qualify now, but we will make sure that they qualify for a loan or bank financing, increase their net worth by $25,000.
There we are back again at the numbers. A lot of people don't realize. A lot of people don't realize, but when you owe someone money, especially a bank or credit card company, they get timely updates on your credit report, and when they see the numbers either sliding or dropping or whatever the case may be, and you're thinking, oh, I have a 680, I'm in great shape. Not necessarily so. Times have changed. So the Flex Boot Camp would give you that information, would show you exactly what you need to do to prepare for the future whether you are a homeowner or a future home buyer or someone who is in a distressed situation, and there's a chance that you can be helped. And what about the person who is beyond saving their home?
Well, if a person is beyond saving their home, then they transition from home ownership to become a renter again. But do not stop there. Home ownership is something that we should all strive to be homeowners, but they can become a homeowner again.
Yes, I know.
Within 36 months from
Yes.
not being on a title, not owning a home, HUD considers you a first-time home buyer. And so all the benefits that a first-time home buyer get, even after 36 months of owning a home, you would be considered again.
And a lot of people don't believe that just because you've fallen, you can't get back up again. You know, the beauty of living in this society is that regardless of what happens, in most instances, you can come back and look back years later and also teach your children and the other younger people in the family, this is something that you do not want to be involved with because it's headache. I want to thank you for coming, Mr. Laws.
Thank you.
This is my guest, Mr. Larry Laws. He's with First Home Alliance. They're located in Woodbridge, Virginia. They can help you or someone that you know who is either in denial about the condition of their mortgage or their home or whatever the case may be, but you must act now. For Skills to Pay the Bills, I'm James Jack. I've been your host for this really delightful and entertaining and informative half hour, and I'll be back again. So until then, you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.